Hey, very good everybody, and welcome to another video. This is your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. I will be your captain for today's flight. Today's flight will take us back to the PMDG 737-800, just like we did yesterday. Yesterday's stream we had to abort because the aircraft became unresponsive. Looked like some flight simulator bug. So today we're going to try again. This time it will be a different leg. We'll be flying from Canada to the United States. We'll be flying from Toronto to Pittsburgh International. Using the PMDG 737-800 with American Airlines livery. This is the first time I'm loading in this livery actually, so let's have a look at that. We're looking at en route flight time about 43 minutes, so it's a very short little hop. We're using real world time, real world weather, GSX, and the Airsoft Simple Traffic Tool. You can follow the flight on the Volanta. Let's get the overlay up and let's get the pump out of the way. So here we are, parked at one of the medium gates. We got the ground power unit connected, and we got the jetway connected as well. Looks like a nice day here in Toronto. So this is the livery I was talking about, the American Airlines livery. Got the TWA on the tail there. It's all looking very nice. Alright, so let's not pussyfoot any longer, and let's just get inside this sucker. Let's just get a nice little resting angle for now. There you go. Alright, let's hop on it. So the ground power unit has been connected. And let's go electronic flight bag, and we get our flight plan. Looks like the head-up display has been installed. So I do not want to use that, so I'll have to change that in a little bit as well. We'll put here the eyebrow windows that I always like. And there might be some other things, a thing or two. Alright. To start it up, let's get it. That sounded weird. I was expecting a sound. This is sounding funny, man. Alright, let's just see if this all is going to work. We got external power, and that is turning on. Now, let's turn off the external power for a second, and let's see if there's actually now battery discharge. Okay, so the battery is actually being discharged. Let's see. DC amps, DC volts. That's the warning that we're draining our batteries. Let's turn on the ground power then. Alright. As you can imagine, I'm a little bit nervous. Well, nothing crazy, but you know, after yesterday, that wasn't too nice. Let's turn on the logo lights and the anti-collision lights. So that's there. Then I suggest we start with the boarding process immediately, because we don't know how many. I didn't check how many passengers we're taking with us today. So let's go request boarding. And we can set up some main panel lights. So we got something to look at. Alright. The center pedestal as well. Alright. So we do have our flight plan.
Do you want to board crew?
Yes, please.
Pilot's boarding starting.
Thank you. Alright, so the weather here at Toronto. 170 degrees, that's the wind direction. We got 5 knots, 15 statute miles visibility. Few clouds at 3,000 feet, and there's a few clouds at flight level 250. It is 19 degrees, and the QNH is 3029. Hey, old-fashioned simmer, how are you, man? Can't wait to have this aircraft on FS24. Have a good flight, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for saying hi, old-fashioned simmer. Yeah, let's have a look outside. Here she is. It's 737-800. And I have to make a little mental note to myself when we land. You do not really have to go crazy on the flare. The configuration, basically, when you're fully configured, you're basically like 3 degrees up, I believe. So you probably have to just add like 1 or 2 degrees to actually flare. This aircraft pretty much flares itself, unlike the 737-6 and 700, I believe. I always have to do a little bit more flaring. This aircraft, from the get-go, started to overflare. Once I stopped sort of flaring, I realized I do not really have to flare with this aircraft for some reason. But something to monitor as well. Alright, so let's get back to it, and let's have a look at the passengers boarding. Yesterday we were carrying 116. It's still boarding the crew. Well, let's not rush them. So the wind, we got that, 1705 knots, and yeah, that should be okay for now. So let's set up.
Your crew has boarded.
Well, let's see friendly passengers. Now I do want to check
Passengers boarding started.
what we're taking with us today. Not saying it yet. We're getting very exciting. Alright, FMC. I forget the ICAO code, Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu. Now the gate, here it says 153. Let's also have a look at Navigraph charts, that sometimes appears to be a totally different name. Like here, 530. Well, let's go with that. 530. Oh, it chose 5. Wait, come back. 530. There you go. Alright, that's in. So the route we can request, first have to clear out that ICAO code there. Alright, reserve 5.7, block fuel 12.3. Seems quite a lot, I guess. Maybe I'm crazy. Cost index 13. Wind 221.017. Cruising 280. And then we got the block fuel 5.6. I might see what's going on. And we got 2.6 on the final reserves. So why is it saying block fuel 5.3? Oh, this is going to Cleveland. Oh, really? Oh, that's the wrong flight plan. We're not flying to Cleveland. We should be flying to Pittsburgh. See what's going on here for a second. So we got alternate airport Cleveland, but the arrival should be Pittsburgh. And this was actually generated. I think that's looking fine. I'm sorry, there's like a lot of stuff happening here off the screen, so you cannot really see. Oops, the maybe just drive myself crazy. This is going to Pittsburgh indeed. And alternatives. Oh, so I was just confusing myself. My apologies. So block fuel 12.3, that does seem still a little bit weird. Now let's have a look. This is a new aircraft, like a new livery, and then the simulator treats it like a new aircraft basically. with distance unit kilometers, altitude meters, feet, knots miles feet, length feet, feet units knots, temperature Celsius, weight kilograms. That seems right. Let's save that. So block fuel 12.3. That's just weird, but maybe I'm just weird myself. Block fuel says 5.5 or 5.6. So let's just change that. I don't know why this happened. 5.6. Can we? No, this is it. 5.6. Let's double check. Yeah, we rounded up. So 5.6 on the block fuel. You do not allow me to do that. Set fuel. Okay. No. Okay, we'll do it here. Fuel 5600. That will be the fuel. 5.6. The final was 2.6. Where the hell does it pull these things from? And it looks like is it pounds? This was on the displays, right? Yeah. There we go. It's on pounds. Now it's at kilometers, at kilograms. Yeah, that's the thing when you load in a new livery like we have now. I've never loaded in this livery previously. And it sort of resets to a certain kind of state. So it's something to be aware of. And now that we're here, let's also go to equipment. Collins, that's all good. I don't really care too much about that. Double D rates. Minimums plus 100. Let's just say approaching minimums. I got some call-outs. Not too interested in that at the moment. FMS2. Let's get rid of the heads-up display. And let's get the eyebrow windows. Let's do the new cutoff switch. It's these things here. Fuel cutoff switches. You got the new version variant, if you will. Anything else? Window shades will be cool. Flight tablets, that's already there. Alright. So now to have a look at the fuel again. And it's actually offering us to re-download it. That's actually pretty nice. So 2.6, 5.6, that seems to make sense. So set payload, set fuel, and we select the route. Right, so how many passengers are we getting today? Yesterday was 116. Today is 180. So it's a good thing that we started boarding already. So flight plan is requested, we can load it in. So we got 5.6 kilograms of fuel on board. Alright, but now we activate, execute. It's a very short flight plan. Departure arrival. Short departure runway. Runway 15 left with the Betas 3 departure. So 15 left. Peters 3 departure. Transition, I think it's so Airy in there. Airy direct to YTOWN. Okay. Airy's in there and execute. And all we have to do now is add the arrival. That was 10 left, I believe. 10 left with the JC5. Via YTOWN and execute. Alright, that should be the entire flight plan. Vectors after takeoff, we'll see how that's going to work out. And then vectors to the final approach. So, fuel 5.6. Reserves was 2.6. Cost index was 1.3. Cruising, I believe, was 280. And the cruising wind, I believe, was 221. I forgot. 221 at 017. So this is now to 18,000. That seems accurate. Execute and one limit. And for that we can use our performance tool. Runway 15 left. Excuse me. We calculate. So takeoff at 52 degrees, flaps 5, acceleration 1000. Should give us a 92.9 on the N1. V1 to 140, rotate 142, V2 146. So we'll start with TL at 52 degrees. So it's already selected TL, 52. Giving us 92.8. Well, this is quite close. We got the flaps 5 takeoff and the trim 4.66. We can see that there as well. 140, 142, 146. We got the same V speeds here, so it's looking good, all dandy. And then the runway length remaining 110. Alright, that concludes the setup of the FMC pretty much. Baggage handler is finished as well. So 15 left will be this one, or I'm totally losing it here. The elevation there is 557. Cruising at 280. Giving us automatically 2 charts. That's where the confusion comes from. So this should be ours. So 150 or runway 15 left, and then we got heading 147, and then we got vectors. One 147 is that actually the runway heading? That's correct. Let's dial that in as well. And let's see if we can get this baby to fly today. Let's turn on the APU. We have the fuel on board, so we can, turn on the seatbelt sign. Go down, please. Thank you. Right, the EGT is arriving on the APU. We can hear the APU starting up. And that is our exhaust gas. That should drop to around 400. Let's turn on the APU bleed. And we'll also switch to the APU generator now, and then we can disconnect the ground power first up in the overhead. And then we'll request the disconnect of the ground power unit. Alright, so the flight plan, let's have a look at our departures. So vectors, and then we should get ourselves to Oakville. So we could maybe out of Oakville go like, let's see. About 20 miles will be okay. So before Oakville, let's go heading 147 for, what did we say, 20 miles. I put it right there on vectors. Am I screwing this up? Yeah, pretty much. So let's erase this. You know what, let's just go direct. There we go. Is that going to work? What do you think? Let's just keep it. Execute. Have a little closer look. Basically immediately a right turn, but we'll just do our own thing. We're not flying online, we're not getting any vectors or anything. It's going to be a short flight, so maybe it's also not a bad idea to have a look at the arrival as well. So the weather at our destination today. Pittsburgh, wind varying in direction, but it's 5 knots. Visibility 10 statute miles. There's a few clouds 4,000 feet. View at flight level 250, 21 degrees. 3029, that's all the same. We got runway 10 left. So let's get the approach charts. Pittsburgh, approach 10 left. ILS or a localizer. And we pin that one. So when we arrive, we will come via YTOWN, taking you to Qatar, JC. Have a look here. So Kota, JC, Jens, and then vectors to Stowe. It will be sent to Jens, and then we get vectors to Stowe, and let's have a look where that is. Stowe, that's right there. So we probably can just line them up, but let's have a look. So there's Kota, JC, Jens, and then we need to go to Stowe. And are we going there direct? Let's see, Stowe, that gives us 6.3 nautical miles for the glide slope intercept at Raku. Probably going to work out. I hope this confidence is not scaring anyone. So Stowe will come in the place of vectors. Execute. There you go. The ILS frequency for runway 10 left, Pittsburgh, 111.7, India Lima X-ray Bravo. You can see that up here as well. 111.7. I'm going to dial this in right now. 111.70. We got that. Raku, that's where we'll start our glide slope. And that is at 9.1 nautical miles from Mike Juliet. That's the Montour VOR. That's, I think, slightly to the right here of our airport. Usually I prefer it when they actually say how far it is from the localizer itself. Let's just keep it at 10, I guess. So 10 left. So the reciprocal will be 281. We need this information to get to the 6 page and create a 6. 281. And your age, I'm not really sure. Let's say 11 miles. It will not be very accurate. Let's also do one at 15. We better get ready a little bit early rather than late. Probably should change the Raku one, because 11 really seems like a lot. Can we do /9? Actually, I think it's a lot lower. Let's try 6. It does work like that, it's pretty cool. That sort of brings it around Raku. I guess that's okay. .5. I guess actually we could maybe use this 5.5. Shall we just try that? Now that we're experimenting and trying to learn the aircraft, 5.5. That should put us right on top of Raku. So I'm just going to keep it like this. So we come in via GC to Jens and then to Stowe. Then we got like 6.3 nautical miles, I believe, to like get fully configured and everything for intercepting the glide slope. So we got that set up as well. And when we're on the way, we can also set the decision altitude and everything. And we'll have a look at that. Let's check in on the boarding. So let's have a little sip of our cool iced tea. We got 135 out of 180 passengers boarded. Right, so for the taxi briefing, we're sitting here at gate 530. And on my 15 left is right there. So it's going to be fairly simple. Push back, nose to the left. This will get us onto something that doesn't appear to have a name here. Then I guess take a left onto Foxtrot Alpha and then a right onto Foxtrot. And we'll probably take that. We have to probably cross runway 23. So we'll get ourselves onto Foxtrot, cross runway 23, and then take a right onto Juliet. That should take us to runway 15 left. So pushback will be nose to the left. Alright, so we're on internal power. I think everything else here looking all dandy and fine. 280, I do want to double check our cruising altitude. That might actually now be 280 anyway. There you go, 280. Let's keep this on the takeoff left page because we'll probably have to confirm our V speeds in a little bit. So let's turn on the flight directors on both sides. No, you may not see my boarding pass. We'll dial in flight over 280 here in the altitude window. We got the runway heading 147 and let's put the speed at 250 knots. Alright, there it is. So we can arm the auto thrust, arm lateral navigation and vertical navigation. Let's get this baby rocking, man. There's no checklist here. That's also one of the things that you can set up. I'm not really sure where they do that. Options, simulation. IRS options should be realistic, yes. Realistic parking brake behavior. Do not want to hide any yokes. Do not want to pause at the top of descent. There's some call outs there. Man, this thing has so many options really. Trying to set up aircraft. Let's try this place. I'm seeing so many options here that I'm pretty much starting to forget the option that I was looking for. It was the checklist on the yokes. So that will not be on the display. You can get out of here. Still think it should be here. Hide captain seat, hide first officer seat, captain yoke, yokes moving lowered. These are the callouts again. Not thinking, it'll probably be staring me in my face like the whole time. Simulation, performance will not be it. Aircraft, not equipment, not really counting on it. Nav radio panels, MMR, auto ignition, pressurization, window shades, light tablets. Yoke checklist, there you go. Yes, let's do it on both sides. There it is. Menu FMC, let's put this on with the econ descent page. Right, so I think we're almost done boarding. Let's put this back on map, let's turn on traffic. And one other quality of life thing that I should probably get myself into, to actually just put a chart here of the airport. So we go airport, and then we should have one just called airport usually. Airport info. This will be it. Alright, so let's go full screen for a bit. This might help us during the taxi, so we don't have to use the navigator. So push back nose to the left, then get ourselves onto Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot. We cross runway 23, and then we'll take a right onto Juliet, and that should take us to the runway. Alright? We're checking on the boarding. 174 passengers out of 180. So that's the perfect time for me to start rolling another little cigarette. And by the time I'm done with that, the boarding probably has finished, and we can get this sucker going. I must say I do like this livery, especially like the TWA there on the tail, looking nice and old school. So this is one of the liveries that actually come with the package. So if you purchase this through a PMDG, you get like quite a number of liveries, including the American Airlines one. For this one's from 2018. I don't know why it says TWA on the tail. I'm not really sure what that is about. It always reminds me of a Busta Rhymes song. It was track number 9 on the CD. I believe it was from his first album. And he's got a whole bunch of rappers there joining in for this track. And then they're sort of dissing some other dudes, and they're saying, like, you bitch niggas always got something to say. You probably don't even know how to spell TWA. And I always found it so funny that you tell somebody that you cannot even spell TWA, you know. I don't know why, but I thought it was a very funny, very funny approach. All right. Okay, so we're pretty much done now. Then let's get to the tablet ground operations. Let's request push and start. And let's set our parking brake. And we remove the chocks. And are the doors not auto closing, or is it just GSX being a little bit slow? Well, not with the air stairs installed, please. Door management, close all. Closing. There it goes.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
Nose to the left, tail to the right.
Release parking brakes.
Stand by, please. Parking brake release.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright. Let's get this sucker going. Engine number 2. And then we got some fuel in there. squawk 31, 21, and let's go TAR8. It's dropping. Go engine number 1. So we'll just watch the N2. I think around 10 we can get the fuel in there. Just quickly press B for the Q edge, which I forgot, 3029. Parking brake set.
Confirmation for good engine start.
Alright, so they're waiting for confirmation. No smoking sign as well. Right, so we have 2 running engines. EGT will start to drop on engine number 1. Let's confirm. QX. Confirm.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
So flaps stabilizer trim. So the flaps will be 5. Let's also turn on the auto brake to RTL, projected takeoff. And trim, I believe, was 4.66, there it is. That's pretty much where it's at. Let's see, that would be... oh, not there somewhere, it's in the green band anyway. Right, so we need to now verify the takeoff speed. 140, 142, 146. So takeoff speed.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Are clear. Then let's turn on the main generators. We can turn off the APU. APU bleed comes off, and we will turn on the packs. This dude's now going to show us the bypass pin. It's all about procedures, right? Thank you, Jack. Yep, alright. And on return of lights, taxi lights. Do let me know if you think I'm forgetting something. Sometimes my brain has not quite landed after a day's work. Let's get this one to the wax page. So parking brake released. And PMDG style, it is not doing it the first time. There you go. Well, let's get this baby to Pittsburgh. There we go. Right, so that will be a left onto Foxtrot Alpha and a right onto Foxtrot, cross on runway 23, and then a right onto Juliet. overshooting that yellow line a little bit here. November to the right of us, and there will be runway 23. First there will be a hotel, and then runway 23, we cross that one, and then we'll go like 45 degrees to the right or something to get ourselves up to Juliet. Flaps 5, green lights. Here comes runway 23, we're going to cross that. That's looking nice. Camera crew, prepare for departure. So let's consider ourselves cleared, and we'll turn on the landing lights. And position strobe and steady. So yesterday we were streaming as well, but then all of a sudden the aircraft was still moving, but I was unable to manipulate any button. They simply would not turn. And tried a couple of things, didn't work, so we ended the stream. So today we're going to try again. It's just a different flight. Here is our runway 15 to the left. Alright, so let's turn off the backs for takeoff. And we'll start the timer. And hopefully we got everything right, so let's just see what's going to happen. 50% and then 1. Engine stabilized. So takeoff thrust. We got airspeed.
3 knots.
V1 rotate.
Rotate. Whoops.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Right, flight director go to the right, so let's turn right. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Right, let's turn on the autopilot. CMD, N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. Turn off the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights. And the auto brake, oops, can be turned off as well. And let's turn on the packs, which is actually on our checklist. Packs to auto, engine bleeds to on. Landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. The landing gear is up but not off. And the flaps are up and there is no lights. And the lever is also in the up position. So after takeoff checklist complete. So as I said, it's going to be quite a short flight, 43 minutes of airtime. We can expect, let's get to the FMC 2. Top of descent in 97 nautical miles at 1726. So it's 16 minutes already. So as I said, a very short flight. Let's increase the range on our nav display. On our way to Oakville. Top of climb, probably followed by top of descent shortly after that, around Arkady. Whoops. Alright, get back to the flight deck. CMD and 1 LNAV in upspeed. 10,000 feet. At some point now the nose is dropping. You can turn off the landing lights. And let's set our passengers free. We expect to touch down Pittsburgh Airport 1749. It's in about 47 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome on board. This is your captain speaking. Welcome on board flight 812 Pittsburgh. We have turned off the seatbelt signs, so feel free to move around the cabin. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out to our lovely cabin crew. We expect to arrive in approximately 47 minutes. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 28,000 feet, which is approximately 8.5 kilometers. The weather at our destination looking good. There's not too much wind, and we expect a very smooth landing. On behalf of American Airlines and the entire crew, thank you for your attention. Right, so 18,000 feet will be the transition altitude. So as I said earlier, note to self, during the flare, I should try not to flare, or at least take notice of the pitch, because usually on flare or on final approach, the Boeing 737-800 should be sitting around, I believe, around 2 or 3 degrees, and I believe you need around 5 for the flare. So it's very easy to overflare because it's already in quite a nose-up position on your final approach. So this aircraft is very easy to overflare. I've done it lots of times. So I do have to remember that with every plane that I fly, what are its specific characteristics, you know. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've had a lot of flight hours. But still, you know, there's so many differences. Sometimes I've been flying one plane for like weeks, and then another plane for weeks, you know. But over time, you will get sort of, I hope to get some sort of awareness, if you will, of what the capabilities of the aircraft are, and, you know, all of that. Alright, so 18,000 feet coming up. Let's switch to standard pressure. So we are now 7 minutes into the flight. We got 10,000 feet to go till we reach the top of climb. You can also check the progress here on the climb page. To flight level 280, will be at 1719. So that's another 4 minutes. And then descent will be 7 minutes after that. So let's get our descent winds, forecast, request. But man, the PMDG aircraft are really cool. They, all of them. Alright, so we can load in the descent winds. And let's just execute them. It is what it is. The time has not changed, 17:26, 64 nautical miles. Alright, so a couple of things. We've already set up quite a bit of the approach. If we go to the final approach chart, we already have 111.7, India Lima X-ray Bravo. 111.7. But we also need our final approach course, 101. You can see that right here as well. We'll set this in the windows here, 101. And on this side as well. For the decision altitude, refer to minimums. We need to remember 3,000 feet to put that in the window. I think we can go, let's just go 100. I still don't understand all the differences here. Probably I will one day, but today I don't. Airport elevation I think is high. It is 1203, so we can put that on 1200. That's a thing to take notice of. So 100 feet radio altitude or 1300 feet barometric. So we'll just do radio altitude 100. There it is. And then the landing elevation will be 1200. So that's looking good. I think that's pretty much it. 3,000 feet. We'll have to keep that in mind. Let's have a look at the go around. Missed approach is basically take a left turn, and there's a missed approach hold at Elwood City.
Traffic.
I don't want your traffic, you should know that by now. Should be below us, right? There it is. I'm not sure if you can see at all, but there we got the traffic. Right, top of climb, coming up, and then the top of descent. So we got here as well, 111.7101 for the final approach course. We got decision altitude, 100 feet in radio altimeter. We should see the expected fuel upon touchdown, 3.6 thousand. So we're not burning a lot of fuel today. So I guess we can also start by putting in the initial final approach speed, VLF speed. Flaps 30, 148. And plus wind correction would be 153. And that should be in the lag page as well. 153, 153. So currently the pressure at Pittsburgh was the same as our departure airport. Let's see if we can refresh. This was issued 1551. Should definitely be an update. 1651, so this is a 1 hour update, I guess, unless we just missed the other one. Not sure what COR stands for, man. Variable 6 knots, 10 statute miles visibility, few clouds at flight level 250. And QNH is 3027. So we could pre-dial that just for now. We'll do this final check later. 3027. Or wait, am I going crazy? 3027, there you go. That's put in there. Alright, so we're at cruising altitude now. That means that we can now, we're descending 7026, so in like 5 minutes. So we'll put in 3,000 feet here in the window for the altitude. That will basically be our stop altitude, if you will, on our descent. But in the meantime, during the descent, the aircraft will still respect all the constraints that it meets on the flight plan. So we are now on our way to Erie in about 26 or 7 miles. We should be there at flight level 280, and then we'll start descending, and the aircraft will not go below or above certain restrictions if they're active. The final approach speed is still 148 at flaps 30. Let me start the sky dolly so we can record the input, and let's just also start recording, why not? So that is recording in the background. I really like this livery. I think this livery is a lot better than the livery they're using these days, which looks more like a toothpaste brand or something. But nothing beats the old like silver or chrome, I don't know, metal kind of a livery that they used to have. That was just really cool. I do have that livery for my ND11. Which is really the old school American Airlines livery. But this one is definitely cool. Let's have a look here. It's quite a nose up position, right? During just like during a cruise, we're doing level flights. So 10, 5, so we're like 3 degrees nose up. And we're not even doing anything. Right, 17 minutes into the flight, time 17:24, top of descent coming very close. It's already showing the decimals there on the countdown. So to get our descent checklist, pressurization, landing altitude, so that is at 1200. Let's just quickly double check, see if we're not crazy, 1200. We have the local QNH for now, but it might still update, 1725, so if there was one at 1721, there might actually be a weather update. But there's none, but we'll monitor that. Recall, let's check our recall. Nothing requiring our attention. Auto brake. Let's have a look at the runway. One zero left, 10,000 feet. We'll vacate to the right. Not really sure which is the sort of standard setting. I guess one would be okay for such a long runway. So we can check that as well. And then landing data VRF at minimums. Well, we basically retard. So there we go, descending. So we have the landing data minimums. Now the VRF speed probably still the same. That's still at 148. That might change like 1 knot or something. And then the approach briefing has been completed as well. So that's descent checklist complete. Then the approach checklist basically means that 18,000 feet we will set our altimeters to the local pressure. So we'll check that. We have a couple of more minutes. If the weather report was issued at 1721, we could still get it at around 1731. Because for some reason, sometimes there's like a huge delay on that. We just keep hitting refresh, and if it's only a 1 hourly update, well, then we'll just have to make do. For the time 1727, we're expected to touch down at 49. So in about a minute or two, we'll send all the passengers back to their seats, so we can ensure a safe experience for everyone. There we have our first range link already coming at 50 nautical miles, and that's why I really love these the ability of the Boeing, the Airbus has it as well, that you can The Boeing actually has a dedicated fix page, which is really cool. Just click fix and you just put your information there. But it really helps with like situational awareness, if you will, you know. Let's zoom out a little bit more. You'll already immediately see that's the runway. It's like a sort of bullseye, if you will. And there's always a, if you do it like I did, there's always a extended runway center line. Alright, YTOWN coming up in 31 miles. So check the weather. Still weather from 1651. .3027. Well, let's strap in our passengers again. Turn on the seatbelt sign. And do a little cabin announcement. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight, this is your captain speaking. As you may have noticed, we have started our descent into our destination, Pittsburgh Airport. Please return to your seat. Make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened. We expect to arrive at our destination in approximately 20 minutes. The temperature at our destination is 21 degrees centigrade. There's a mild wind. We're expecting a very smooth touchdown. On behalf of American Airlines and the entire crew, thank you for your attention. Alright, so the passengers are strapped in as well. So let's have another look at the go-around. What are they doing there? This approach, climb to 1900 feet, then climbing left turn to 4000 feet, direct to Echo Whiskey Charlie VOR, and you hold right there. So that will be climb 1900. We can set this altitude once we are on the glide slope. Then a left turn 4000, we go direct to Echo Whiskey Charlie, which is Elwood City VOR. This missed approach should probably be in the FNC as well. But I'm always a little bit scared of the missed approaches. So basically this takes us to Raccoon and then to the runway. In case of a missed approach, we keep on flying the runway track until and we climb to 1900 feet. And then we'll do a left turn to Echo Whiskey Charlie. And we climb to 4000 or above. So we'll just take 4000 there. So that means when we are on the glide slope, we can then go to our little altitude window, which is now sitting at 3000, but we'll then put it on 1900. And then we'll take the left turn, and then we'll put it on 4000. So 20,000 feet. We're looking nice on the descent there. Vertical deviation is about 33 high, which is nothing. It's negligible, as I say. And the final approach speed is still sitting at 148. What I will do, I will need to step into the galley for a second. Let's see if there's a weather update. Time 1732. There's no weather update. I'm guessing this will be it. So we'll just go from standard pressure to local. which is 3027, which is now actually putting us a little bit high. So let's immediately deploy our speed brakes. So speed brakes extended. Try and get back on that vertical profile. I'm not deviating too much. You can see the number there quickly moving down. So that's very good. And then start to struggle a little bit. Look at that. Go down, baby. You know you want to. There it is. Just keep everything consensual, please, people. Just think. Alright, speed brake retracted. But let's take a little window seat, and I'll be back within 2 shakes of land's tail. Alright, so here we are again. So quickly get back to the flight deck, see if everything is still going as we wanted. $40,500, speed 254. Contact, we should be at speed 240, but that's only in about 18 nautical miles. We should be at flight level, or we should be at 10,000 feet. Vertical deviations increasing a little bit, but nothing alarming yet. Let's see if there's a weather report. No. Now we can see our basically our approach from Qatar to Jersey to Yins, and then to Stowaway, and then we'll turn on the localizer. $3,800 kilograms of fuel. Expect to land at 3.6. And the VRF speed still 148. So we will do a flaps 30 landing. I may have mentioned earlier that I would always never really think about it. I would just choose the highest flap setting, but then someone was very kind and pointed out in one of my landing replay videos that was actually called unstable approach. And this gentleman pointed out, well, it's not very realistic in normal conditions to use flaps 40. You should actually use flap 30. So I looked into it a little bit. And yeah, I think it's actually proving to be indeed a little bit more of a stable approach. But I'm still have to get used to that. I've tried the same with the MD-11, but that's already like a bouncy kind of aircraft. Like real-world pilots even tend to struggle landing the MD-11. Apparently the aircraft just really wants to bounce when you land it. It's like a really nose up upon touchdown. I must say, when I land the MD-11 in flaps full, that always usually just feels fine. But even that, I would like to try as well. And I believe the RD setting is flaps 50 and 35, I believe. Right, 11,000 feet. We're definitely getting closer. The airport should be at 45 degrees or so. Around there, general area. Right, so 10,000 feet coming up. We can turn on the landing lights. Let's also start up our APU. So we're now 31 minutes into the flight. We expect to touch down in about 11 minutes. Our vertical deviation is behaving. Standing by for a left turn from Kota to Jersey. We didn't make speed 240, so I guess let's use a little bit more speed brake. So would it work if you now just retract speed brakes again? Or is the aircraft going to speed up again? Hopefully she will stay at 240 knots. Alright, so approach checklist completed. We got the altimeter. Do one more weather check against better judgment. 1651, that's not going to change. Okay, so we got that. Speed is holding around 240 knots. And then for the landing checklist would be engine start switches to continuous relight, speed brake should be on, landing gear down, flaps, green light. We'll keep this here for a little bit. I do want to check the inner test page. We still have speed 148. And on the, we should have a nav page, right? We don't. Alright. So it looks like we're flying over some airports. We heard some outer marker or inner marker. I can't say that I really see an airport though. We could turn on airports here. I don't know why we heard that. Right, so we're turning to YTOWN. Fuel 3.7. Final approach speed 148. There will be 153. We don't have DME quite yet on the localizer, but that should be coming momentarily. We're pretty much like 15 nautical miles from the localizer. 5,400. At Jens we should be 5766. Speed there still 240 knots. Let's get a little bit of speed brakes. Alright, so then we'll take a left turn to Stowe. Let's get the speed brakes in, see if we can do that. And let's just arm the localizer. We're not picking up anything quite yet. So at Stowe, our speed should be 218. I think I'll use the speed brakes, just in case. Right, so it's retarding now. Still have the speed brakes out. So the glide slope is already visible. Right, speed brake retracted. We'll never hit that speed, so speed brakes out again. Localizer capture. Turn on the runway turn-off lights, the taxi lights, and the engine start switches to continuous relight. There's our runway. We should be going for speed 153. 147. Let's update that.
2500.
Let's also arm the approach. Let's get our speed brakes in. Let's see if we can go flaps 1. And hopefully that will create some drag for us. Let's arm the speed brakes. It's a little bit gusty up here. Let's try and go flap 2. Glide slope capture. So now we will manage our own speed. Let's go flap 5. Man, it's windy up here. We do not have a DME on the ILS for some reason. Which should be around 5.5 miles now. Let's drop the gear. Cabin crew, take your seats for landing. Flaps 15.
1000.
Alright, so we're not quite fully configured yet. Let's go 153 and let's go flaps 30. So standing by to disengage the autopilot. It sure is windy, man. Autopilot disengage. Keep her coming down. Not too much.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
50, 40, 30,
Flyer.
20, 10.
Well, touchdown. Full reverse. Welcome to Pittsburgh, everybody. Let's do some toe braking here as well. Right, engines to idle, flaps up, ground spoilers retracted, and then we'll vacate to the right. Right, the runway vacated. I guess we'll take a right turn here. It's going to be a sharp turn. The auto brake can go back to off. The rogue golf cart. So usually we should now turn off the landing lights and all of that, but since I'm leaving the simulator running after the stream to do the landing replay, I will just keep them on because I'm not really sure if the program will actually turn them on or off or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's just keep them on. So there was a short flight from Toronto to Pittsburgh, United States. Looks like we did make it down in one piece. Might have been a bit of a rough landing, but better a rough landing that's safe and that's on the touchdown zone than like a butter landing, you know, just like floating and everything. So cute little airport here. that's the other American Airlines livery, you know, that I was talking about. I mean, look at it. It just looks like it looks so generic. It looks like a toothpaste. And then when you look at this one, also American Airlines, it just looks cool. What, I might be missing something, but I'm loving it. So here comes the bus parade. We'll be driving by all these airplane butts, just staring at us. And there's no parking place for us, really. Oh, we're just going to settle down here, somewhere in the middle. That's alright. The flight is over. We'll just let my boss deal with what we're doing right now. This is Pittsburgh International Airport. Alright, wheel stop. Parking brake set. So yeah, man, once again, welcome to Pittsburgh. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I know I did. It's been a while. It's been about 2 weeks. And as I said, you know, some turbulence, sometimes some fun. Some other prime engagement, if you will. Well, here we are, the 737-800 by PMDG. Beautiful little airplane. Works like a charm. Alright, man, so that's it for the stream. Thank you, everybody, very much for checking. It's very much appreciated. Old-fashioned simmer, man. Hope you're doing well, and hope the PMDG 737-800 will land shortly in Flight Simulator 2024 for you. Alright, guys. Everybody stay funky and keep your loved ones close, man. That's what it's all about. And I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.